गुस्से को या उस फ्रस्ट्रेशन को या उस कंफर्ट को आप चैनलाइज करके कुछ बेहतर कर सकते हैं, या उसे चैनलाइज करके आप एक मुश्किल इंसान बन सकते हैं अपने आसपास के लोगों के लिए?
You know, you can't be a 100-watt bulb burning all the time. It's not good for your profession either.
Yeah, I am actually a strong believer that you shouldn't blame anyone for what you get.
I don't need to be a feminist to be a woman.
Absolutely.
Actually, actors going to a शादी is a different whatever. वो एक उसका एक अलग रायता होता है.
If you decide to do it, you can do anything.
Hats off to all the
Absolutely.
officers in all the armed forces or the police service or wherever. It's not a one-woman job.
Yeah.
They show her briefly as a woman who has balanced everything, and clearly the person who has helped balance it is a very understanding husband, a very supportive husband.
भाई अब जितने भी बड़े बैड गाय क्यों ना बन जाओ, अगर ऐसे दो फियर्स लेडी कॉप ऑफिसर्स अगर आपके पीछे अगर पड़ते हो तो यू विल डेफिनेटली बी कॉट इन द राइट वे. देखो एकदम बीच में बिठाया इन दोनों के बीच में. दैट इज व्हाट इट इज. सुमित व्यास सर ओवर हियर. इन दोनों ने मिलके पकड़ लिया है. अल्टीमेटली दैट इज द एंड गोल फॉर जाबाज हिंदुस्तान का. विद मी द लवली ट्रायो ऑफ रेजिना, सुमीत एंड मीटा वशिष्ठ मैम ओवर हियर. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वेलकम ऑन द बॉलीवुड टॉक शो. हाउ आर यू गाइस डूइंग? लवली स्माइलिंग फेसेस. आई थिंक क्वाइट अ लॉट ऑफ प्रमोशंस हैपनिंग सिंस द मॉर्निंग, बट ये स्माइल अभी भी है. सो आई थिंक दैट स्पीक्स अ लॉट.
Thank you.
मुझे प्लीज आप बताओ, you guys, I want to start with the ladies of course before I come to you. You're playing this lady officer over here, and I think you're playing her senior in the show, of course, right? This I think deals with certain hostility that has happened in the northeast area of the country, if I'm not wrong.
All of India actually.
Yeah, all of India, but partly I think northeast.
I'm stationed in the northeast.
Yeah,
Ma'am
yeah.
is not.
Haan.
I come from there.
Yeah, so Srijit Mukherjee is someone who understands that particular area of
quite well.
You know,
Yeah.
because he has his roots in Bengal, everyone. So he understands that area well. He understands. He's got it researched every time. Whenever he comes up with any Bengali film or whatever, gets his research always on point. That is something which is a big highlight about someone like Srijit Mukherjee. So when he actually gave you the narration, and you as well, what was that one highlight factor? Because I don't think you guys have worked with him in the past. So when he gave you the narration, what was that one highlight factor that you felt of this director कि नहीं ये तो मतलब कुछ अलग है, कुछ करक है, जिनके साथ शायद काम करके मजा आएगा?
My first perspective of Srijit sir was the fact that this is an eccentric man, and he very much fits the bill. He is quite eccentric.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
And there's a certain sense of madness to his methods. And you know, on paper, great director, like, you know, national awards, and, you know, done some really thought-provoking films, and all of that. And it was very interesting to work with him, to see how one works behind the scenes, which is so important. And the effort and energy that he puts in with each and every character, small or big, is very, very interesting to see. And he's quite the popular one in the Northeast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which was and I don't know, right? So which was interesting to see. And and one thing I know about him, working with him for so long, is he loves his pork. He loves it, and that I think that's why he goes to the Northeast that often to do things.
उनको मजा आता है. He's a big foodie that way.
Absolutely.
What's your perception of him?
Well, he didn't give me much time to perceive him, as he kind of just threw these questions at me about a film years ago that I had done with Govind Nilani called Druhakal.
Oh.
And he immediately reminded me of that film and wanted to talk about it, and wanted to know how Govind and I had worked on that film together as director and actress. And
this actually even I wanted to talk to you about.
I was
it.
there for this also. When
yes, and you were there for that. So my whole
really
first meeting with him for several, like almost 2 hours, was actually his asking me a lot of questions about Druhakal, how that film was still something that he has not forgotten, certain scenes there, and how did we do it, and all of that. So I ended up giving him some of the very deep inside stories, which are very known to not many people. That was it. So it was interesting that he didn't ask me about the role that I was to play. I mean, he didn't tell me so much about the role. We of course had a reading after that, extensive reading, 2 readings I think. But his first immediate connect with me was to ask me about Druhakal and Govind Nilani and the working of the character.
Yeah, well, that's Srijit Mukherjee for you.
Yeah.
He will definitely go somewhere. He will do something out of the box.
And I, of course, I also wondered if he was wanting to know what sort of an actress am I to work with in terms of vis-a-vis directors.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it went down kindly with him that I actually threw a glass at Govind Hilani in some fiery discussions. But then I also mentioned to Srijit very quietly that I don't do such things anymore.
वो डरेंगे नहीं.
But that's exactly what he was doing. That's exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, he was probably sort of sussed out that कैसे करती है ये. I mean, she's done a lot of movies with lots of directors, so he was possibly trying to maybe, you know, suss me out.
Get an idea.
Yep.
कि nothing violent is gonna happen.
Well, he didn't know about the violence or anything, but he was probably more than me sussing him out. He was making sure he susses me out.
How sweet.
Checks me out and finds out how does she work here.
How nice, how nice. Sir, मुझे बताओ, हर जगह आप हो. I think this is the last एक महीने when I say this very happily कि हर जगह आप हो. Disney Plus, Hotstar बोलो, Z5 बोलो, कोई भी movies बोलो, OTT बोलो, हर जगह आप एकदम छाए हुए हो. This is something that I think I'm pretty sure अभी तो everybody can see the good side of it, but इसको पाने के लिए जो मेहनत, you know, the amount of hard work that has taken over years, followed by failures, repeated failures, and then getting the success. Abhi ye jo phase hai everywhere, you know, so many releases happening so frequently. I think that is a very special thing for any actor or performing artist.
Absolutely.
मजा आता है कि नहीं? Do you sometimes pinch yourself कि हाँ यार सच में मेरे साथ हो रहा है ऐसा?
हाँ, and I mean I have everything to be grateful, you know. ये कई सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स जो थे ये पिछले साल हुए थे, फिर उससे पहले साल हुए थे, तो पिछले 1-2 साल में कई सारी चीजें बन के तैयार थी पर वो रिलीज नहीं हुई थी. और इत्तेफाक ऐसा हुआ है कि एक ही साथ वो रिलीज हो रही है. तो ये किसी भी एक्टर के लिए मतलब इससे बेहतर और क्या हो सकता है. आई हैव एवरीथिंग टू बी थैंकफुल टू गॉड फॉर.
पर मुझे बताओ आप, when Srijit sir told you कि listen you are playing this bad guy over there, आपने उनको पूछा नहीं कि यार bad guy आप बना रहे हो, मुझे मेरा शक्ल देखा है आपने, इतना sweet है, इतना भोला है, it doesn't look like that bad guy, quintessential bad guy जो होता है वो दिखता तो है नहीं आपका शक्ल वैसा. I think I'm pretty sure they'll agree as well. तो आपने उनको पूछा था ये चीज़?
नहीं, एक्चुअली जब स्क्रिप्ट आई थी पहली बार मेरे पास तो वो किसी और पार्ट के लिए आई थी. तो और मैं बहुत कीन नहीं था वो पार्ट करने को. फिर मैंने चूंकि पढ़ी थी, मुझे स्क्रिप्ट बड़ी पसंद आई थी. फिर दोबारा जब फोन आया तो मैंने कहा मुझे ये रोल पसंद है, अगर आप उसमें कंसिडर करना चाहें तो. तो फिर उन्होंने कहा हम वी वुड लव फॉर यू टू डू दिस पार्ट, क्योंकि मैं करना चाहता था अलग किस्म का पार्ट. आई वांटेड टू step away from the kind of work that I was doing.
Yeah. So it was similar to what you had done in the past, you think?
हाँ, जो पहले जो रोल आया था वो. तो और वो मेरे लिए थोड़ा सा मंडेन हो जाता है, एक किस्म का रोल बार-बार करते रहना. इसलिए मैंने अप्रोच किया और आई एम ग्रेटफुल टू श्रीजीत सर एंड टू समर खान, you know, who believed in me and put their faith in me and, you know, gave me this opportunity where I could express myself in this way.
I want to ask the ladies over here, whenever they have something as serious a profession as this, you know, you talk about being in the armed forces, you talk about being in anything, so to say, which has got to do with the defense. You know, it can be the army, it can be the police force or whatever. But it's not just about that part. You know, आप बाहर जाते हो, बाहर जाके काम करते हो. Once you come back home, you have certain responsibilities over there as well, which I think ladies manage a lot better than men. I personally feel that way. यहाँ पे in this show, did you get to explore that side where you're showing कि चलो ठीक है हम लोग जब बाहर जा रहे हैं, we are doing our bit in terms of our professional side, but also घर आके भी we are kind of, you know, managing our part, doing our bit and doing our responsibility at home in a very wonderful way. You're showing that balance, because I think वो balance when we talk about women characters who play cops or anything like that, वो balance ज़्यादा हम लोग देखते नहीं हैं. But that should be the case and that should definitely be highlighted, because it's something that deserves to be highlighted. You know, आप बाहर जाके जितना I don't think a man gets asked this question कि आप बाहर जाते हो, घर आके आप बच्चों को संभालते हो कि नहीं. But a woman has to deal with questions like these, you know. So have you got the opportunity to kind of explore this side as well in the show? I mean, because मैंने देखा नहीं अभी तक, so I'm asking you guys.
For Kavya Iyer, yes, and that's predominantly what the show is about for her. You know, just having to balance the whole thing, balancing her, balancing work, balancing her emotions at home, her emotions at work. Small things like, you know, when she's at work, and because of how intense her job is, and the kind of people she's dealing with, you know, not necessarily sane, and her entire demeanor at work, the hard shell that she puts on, the persona that she brings about, to have to hold up to the standards, and that too she's dealing with mostly men. You know, and to have to be able to shoot a man, or to have to be able to kill a guy, or to have to be able to give him maa behan ki gali, to do all of that, and then to cut out and then come and then actually, you know, see her son having played a football match and gotten hurt, and then having to deal with the fact that she's not there all the time to be there for him. So then to deal with that guilt and then to have to balance all of these things, I think hats off to all the officers in all the, you know, in the armed forces or in the police service or wherever, to do that, and hats off to all the families who support them to do that. It's not a one-woman job. You have to have a family to support you and to back you and tell you that don't worry, you do that, we will help you with what we can help you with. I think it's very important.
You want to add something to what she said, ma'am?
Not really, because my character doesn't go so deep into it. But there is one sequence in the whole storytelling where they show her briefly as a woman who has balanced everything, and clearly the person who has helped balance it is a very understanding husband, a very supportive husband. So there is that. She's still struggling to balance. The Mahira Rizvi character has gone up in the, you know, in the services with a very supportive husband and a family that supported her work and her.
You know, एक चीज which I think I have personally seen in a lot of films is that like it's maybe matter of ego or something कि पहले I think in the 90s or 2000 era में वहाँ पे ऐसे दिखाया जाता था कि when say it's like male culprit or something, if say a woman police officer is coming to arrest him or something, they're not taking her seriously. There are multiple movies which have showed this in a very funny and derogatory. नहीं यार, female police है, who gives a damn? Let a male police come, let that. So it's basically to, you know, kind of satiate that ego, that fragile male ego that I'm talking about. So ये अभी from there onwards, of course, we see roles like say Mardani, Rani Mukherjee playing very tough cop roles over there, which are equally good, just like the man. But ये पहले ऐसा नहीं होता था. How do you see this progression coming of just the portrayal of female cops over the years? Because I'm sure अगर पहले किया नहीं है तो आप लोगों ने देखा होगा portrayal of female cops in Indian movie scenario pehle. So I'm sure that's quite a rise from there. We have come quite a long way.
Yeah.
So what is your take on the rise that you have seen from your end?
You know, somewhere I think in the beginning, and it happens with all you know, like for instance, feminism does come from the ardent patriarchy that you see around.
Yeah.
But I, as an individual, believe that yeah, it could be lying there. I don't need to be a feminist to be a woman.
Absolutely.
You know, I know what I am, I know what I can do, and especially in a job like this where you see, okay, where, you know, like if I have to compare the character to all of this, to not give in to it's very, honestly, sometimes it would just be very easy to take on the role of a man and do it like a man. But I'm not a man.
Yeah.
And I've come to terms with the fact that I'm not one, and I don't have to act like one to be taken seriously. So you could do whatever you want to do, and you could treat me however you want to treat me, but I'm going to stand my ground and be like, you know, I would have hurled a ton of abuses in the last 2 seconds, but that's what I would do, and I do it my way, and I'm very happy doing it my way.
ये जो I think she mentioned something about, you know, women balancing their profession at the end of the day, coming back home and then, you know, balancing their household chores or household work, etc. Because just like you have a responsibility outside, you perhaps have a responsibility towards your family as well. But sometimes वो जो workload होता है बाहर का, it's not something just कि कोई female cop के साथ. As an actress, as a performing artist as well, I'm sure you deal with a lot of stress on a regular basis when you go out there to work. But you don't really want to carry that stress when you come back home, right? Because your time with your family is their exclusive time. They don't want that stress when you're doing that. So how do you as an individual balance that part? Because working professionals especially have to deal with that to a great extent, where they have to really bifurcate कि नहीं काम का काम है, अभी मैं घर आ गया हूँ, अभी it is exclusively my time for family. How do you bifurcate that?
Precisely by what you said. You just leave your work.
But is it that easy to implement?
Yes, well, you have to get into the mental discipline of it. It is. If you decide to do it, you can do anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's really about what perspective you put into it. You know, it's like you take the nice parts home and leave the not nice parts outside.
Yeah.
So the nice parts stay with you. It makes you smile at everybody who's there at home, or not, you know, bring the grumpy part if there is any of it. I think one should always bring the joys home of one's day at work and leave the other parts out, and not necessarily discuss it, but it's in your whole attitude. You know, you can't be a 100-watt bulb burning all the time. It's not good for your profession either. You have to take a break from it in order to get back to it. So that's important. It's completely a mental thing, you know. It's completely how strong you can make your mind. That's true.
That's the implementation part. Sir, मुझे आप बताओ, I can't remember you playing a baddie. I don't think you have done that. So
I mean, not this kind, you know, not this bad. Let's just say that.
So ye, in terms of drawing references, seeing something else, and maybe trying to implement that in your own mannerisms, etc. आपने वैसा कुछ किया in terms of the research and the process?
I mean, I generally tend to look for the psyche of the character and first dig inside as to what takes him and where is he coming from and what is his belief, and you know, वो research करना पहले ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. And then you come to the physicality of him. You know, इसमें क्योंकि वो character ऐसा है जो अलग-अलग शहरों में जाता है, बहरूपिया है तो अलग-अलग भेष बदल के जाता है. So then that's the physical part of it. वो उस किस्म की रिसर्च मैंने की. वो करना ज़रूरी भी है कि वो क्या उनका मोटिव है, क्या है जो उनको ड्राइव करता है. बेवकूफ़ लोग तो नहीं है ये. मेरा जो कैरेक्टर है तारिक, वो इंजीनियर है, पढ़ा लिखा है, यू नो, कई सारे देशों में रहा है, तो ऐसा नहीं कि उसने दुनिया नहीं देखी है, कहीं एक कमरे में बंद था और वो ये करने लग गया. पर बावजूद उसके उसने ये रास्ता चुना है, तो क्यों चुना है वो जानना ज़रूरी है. उससे आपके ही किरदार में और आपके ही परफॉर्मेंस में एक हल्की सी क्या कह सकते हैं डेप्थ आती है जो जरूरी है.
You know, ये आपने बहुत ही interesting point mention किया. A lot of people say that it's a very interesting argument. People feel कि it's your background or it's your upbringing or it's the way you have been born and brought up that plays a role in perhaps you deciding to go the wrong way. And there are times where you have been blessed with everything in life, but you still decide to go that way.
Yeah, I am actually a strong believer that you shouldn't blame anyone for what you get or not get in life. I don't believe in this theory that I've seen people who've been brought up very well with a lot of love and a lot of comfort, and they've turned out to be crooks.
Yes.
And I've seen people who, grown up in terrible atmospheres, गरीबी में या family में problem है, उस किस्म के माहौल से वो बड़े हुए हैं, and they've turned out to be wonderful individuals.
Yes.
You know, parts of your personality would be a little here and there, but on the whole, they've turned out to be very good people.
Yeah.
So beyond the point, it's you. You decide what path works for you, where you want to go, and then you bear the consequences for it. मुझे नहीं लगता कि ये मुझे पसंद नहीं है वो अप्रोच कि नहीं मैं जब छोटा था तो मेरे साथ ये हुआ, मेरे साथ वो हुआ है. आई एम श्योर तकलीफ रही है, बट ये चॉइस आपकी है कि उस तकलीफ को आपको कैसे इस्तेमाल करना है.
चैनलाइज करके वो
उस गुस्से को या उस फ्रस्ट्रेशन को या उस कंफर्ट को आप चैनलाइज करके कुछ बेहतर कर सकते हैं, या उसे चैनलाइज करके आप एक मुश्किल इंसान बन सकते हैं अपने आसपास के लोगों के लिए. वो आपके हाथ में. तो वो चॉइस हर इंडिविजुअल खुद कॉन्शियसली करता है.
I have a question segment is called Who's Most Likely To. So मैं आप तीनों को सवाल पूछूंगा, आप लोग प्लीज बताना कि Who's Most Likely to do that. Who's most likely to have a lot of tattoos आप तीनों के बीच में?
I have one.
She has all the tattoos.
I have one.
She has one.
That's visible.
No, it's actually not that visible.
Okay. So I'll take Regina as the answer for this one. Okay. Who's most likely to take all secrets to the grave? मतलब एकदम सब secrets जो भी किसी के साथ कभी भी कुछ शेयर नहीं करना.
Ma'am, too will love to tell her stories, so definitely not.
मैम सबको बता देंगे.
मैम
I love
बताइए.
you. I will leave every secret here on earth before I go.
and it's a beautiful story. She'll make it an entertaining story, so definitely Sumeet.
सब लोग सुनने के लिए तैयार हो जाएंगे, of course. Okay.
He's not even disagreeing. He's like,
He knows that.
He's thinking about it. That is his thought process is
How
only
did she know?
secretive.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be a secret.
Correct. Who's most likely to cry during a sad movie?
Regina.
Why?
Would you say?
Because she's a toughie, but she's also a softie.
Softly
That's
at the
true.
same. How cute.
That is actually very true.
Okay, who's most likely to forget their close one's birthday?
Yeah.
She's already holding
She's
her head.
already doing this.
Yeah, I mean, I can't shy away from that.
Okay, so I think आप दोनों को बराबर याद रहता है सब
हाँ,
birthday
mostly.
में?
मतलब मैं भी
Close
भूल
ones
जाता
याद
हूँ
रहते
बट
हैं।
क्लोज वंस के तो याद
याद
रखता
रह
हूँ।
जाता। आजकल तो रिमाइंडर्स भी काम आते हैं
हाँ।
of course।
वो भी नहीं लगाती हूँ।
वो भी नहीं लगा।
Because you know what, I'm like this year कोशिश करूँगी कि सबके birthdays को मैं you know I'll wish everyone but
नहीं हो पाता, कोई बात नहीं, वो benefit of the doubt दे देते हैं आपको, टेंशन नहीं है। Who's most likely to come late on sets by being lazy?
I love the last part.
By being lazy.
By being
Yeah.
lazy.
Yeah.
I don't think that applies to any of us.
I don't think lazy is one thing that
So what could be the reason for someone turning up late? Last night ka fatigue work, so you have not slept enough.
Oh, they've been busy or caught up. I don't think any of us were like late comers like वैसे. मतलब आप से हमारे पूरे shoot में I turned up late one day because we were shooting at a place and I sort of misjudged the traffic situation.
Oh,
I didn't know.
The one who really makes you late is Google Maps.
Oh yes. You can put all the blame on it. Of course.
you can't blame
Yeah,
others for
yeah.
your choices. अभी बोला
नहीं,
Google
genuine
Maps
बात है।
is like इधर से कहाँ ले जाएगा और है उधर.
कभी भी ट्रैफिक आ जाता है and suddenly वो जो 40 minutes होता है वो कब 45
नहीं,
50
गूगल
minutes
मैप
हो
की एक
जाता है।
साजिश भी है कि अगर उसने डिसाइड किया कि यहाँ पहुँचने में 40 मिनट लगेंगे, अगर कोई छोटा रास्ता होगा भी तो भी वो घुमा के आपको ले जाएगा because they want to
make sure that they
Make
are
sure
right.
They are right, हाँ।
40 मिनट ही लगे। Okay, who's most likely to become a spy?
Neither of us. Not in real life, but I
Not
think
in
as
real life.
actors we are spying, or not
I
just
can't
spying,
be
we are
bothered
observing
about
all
other
the
people's
time.
lives. I can't be bothered.
You're too worked up with your own life. That's
Not
it.
worked up. I'm very content knowing what's
Yeah.
happening in
जो
my
चल
own
रहा है
life.
मेरे जीवन में चल
Navigating
रहा है।
my-
क्या
हाँ,
करना
हाँ.
है?
If someone comes to me with information, then I'm listening. But otherwise, I'm not like.
बताओ वो नहीं है चीज।
We can look out of curiosity because that's I think our basic temperament to observe something, to notice it and to file it away somewhere.
Yeah.
But not कि क्या हो रहा है मुझे पता चलना चाहिए.
Actively नहीं
I don't
पता
even
है।
you read the newspapers for the reason that I don't want to know all the stuff that's going on in the world.
वैसे भी आ ही जाते हैं मोबाइल में नोटिफिकेशन।
No, I avoid those also. The minute I see some 2-3 words like oh no.
How nice. Okay, who's most likely to finish an entire box of ice cream all by themselves?
I'd say Regina.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me.
The way she said कि हाँ यही है।
But
Mita
even
ma'am
ma'am
as well.
also. So both of
Mita.
us can sit and eat it up.
Yes, yes.
I think it's a very girl thing to do.
So I think you can give them the box of
I
ice
will.
cream.
Chocolate
You
ice
got
I
one
will.
for us.
For sure.
Dark chocolate vegan
I'm talking
ice
about
cream,
him.
please.
Vegan.
Wow.
Okay.
He's noted it. Okay, who's most likely to perhaps enter a wedding just for the amazing food? मतलब जाना नहीं है शादी में, चलो चले जाते हैं, सब लोग मिलेंगे, खाना अच्छा होगा।
Not me.
Not me.
But I love khana, but I can't end up going to a shadi just to have the
Just to
khana.
have it.
No way.
Actually, actors going to शादी is a different whatever. वो एक उसका एक अलग रायता होता है।
I can't bear shadi.
इसमें भी रायता।
हाँ, तो you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't want to draw attention on someone else's wedding or whatever. You don't want to do an item there. So
And वो होता है, people hound you for photos, pictures.
हाँ, मतलब you become an item because you know people are curious about your profession in general.
yeah.
I'm not saying that we are whatever,
Yeah.
but
that's how it
generally
works
speaking,
out.
हाँ.
That's how it works out.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Who's most likely to sleep all day during a holiday? Happily acknowledging it. How sweet.
I mean, I won't sleep. It will be in bed watching something.
Lazing it
throughout
out
the day.
throughout the day.
I miss those days. With a bucket of ice cream.
Oh,
That he will be giving.
I'll
I'm
give.
reiterating that again.
Yes.
Thank you.
Last question. Who's most likely to forget replying back?
I've started doing that quite a lot.
फिर आप भी
Yeah,
हाथ-
we leave it at ma'am's.
नहीं, I reply.
Self-confession कर
मतलब
रही हूँ
maybe
मैं।
if
मैं
not
भूल
on the
जाती
same day, but I remember that I have to reply. Then हो सकता है कई बार 4 दिन बाद भी मैं reply करता हूँ।
बट अलग से याद रखते हो आप।
पर मेरे
पर वो
दिमाग में
भूल-
रहता है
उस
कि
समय तो भूल
अरे यार
गए ना।
उसका आया था, मुझे करना है then
She has a point. उस समय तो नहीं
उस समय
किया
तो
ना।
भूल गए ना. Forget का
भूल
मतलब होता है
नहीं,
कि
मतलब
4
I'm-
दिन बाद याद आया.
I-
अरे
I just don't feel
I
the
think all
need
of us
to
are
like
the same then.
हाँ.
Yeah. But I think it's also got to do with the kind of work and lifestyle that you guys are.
no,
You
it's
guys are
not that.
always
It's
on the
just your
run.
motherboard is crammed.
Yeah. So when
You
you
got
have
to delete
reply,
some stuff for other stuff to
Yeah,
come
yeah.
in.
Correct.
and you have to reply to something also. It's like you don't want to just reply for the sake of replying.
But you know, one thing I've noticed, if I totally forget to reply someone, then a part of me says it's because it's not worth it. So forget it. No matter how important that person is.
Oh.
Guys, are you listening?
Yeah,
No matter
of
how
course.
important that person is, if for some reason I have not replied and it's totally slipped my mind, then
not
maybe
worth
I'll just reply saying, so sorry, forgot to reply, but I'll still not reply.
You're just acknowledging the fact that you have not.
Because
Nice
maybe
hack.
it's not important for my
Or
inner...
just message back saying it wasn't worth it.
नहीं मैम वो नहीं करेगी, मैम बहुत ज्यादा स्वीट है वो. सॉरी फॉर
No, I just say I'm so sorry, just completely forgot. But I'll still not reply to what they asked for.
Yeah, that still solves the purpose.
It's a very Mita ma'am thing to do, I think.
Yeah, because
Very nice.
actually if you haven't remembered, it means your brain doesn't think it important enough.
Yeah. Of course. Priority wise तो वो
So don't
filter हम लोग
overthink it.
brain ही करता है ना.
तो इतना पढ़ो ही मत, उसमें सॉरी बोल दो.
पढ़ो ही मत, जाने दो,
और
खत्म
पतली
करो.
गली से कट लो.
उधर से कट लो. But guys, thank you so much for watching this interesting episode. That's a wrap on the Bollywood Talk Show today on IWMBuzz. This is your host Shubhodhi. Please watch Jaanbaaz Hindustan ke on Z5. I think 26 January is the day. It's a very important day. Kuch last message for all the fans before you guys go?
Well, like you already said, 26 Jan is releasing on Z5, and it's quite a patriotic show, and बहुत ही drama, action, सब कुछ है इसमें. I really enjoy this show.
And happy Republic Day to all of you. And I hope कि हम आपके Republic Day celebration में 4 चांद लगा दें जाबाज के साथ.
Yes, very happy Republic Day. Please watch the parade on television if you can't watch it in person. I'm sorry, I have to keep saying that because I think it's such a great experience.
Yes.
And then watch our show. It'll be a great way to spend the whole day.
तो परेड के बाद यही देखना है और एक फटाफट जल्दी से हम लोग बोल देते जय हिंदुस्तान, जय भारत, भारत माता की जय. We can all chant together because it's coming on 26th of January. So let's chant Bharat Mata ki Jai.
Jai.
भारत माता की जय.
भारत माता की जय.
क्या बात है.